There is a misunderstood strength in people who cut everyone off. To withdraw, to close the doors that once welcomed, is often the only way they can maintain integrity in a world that feels indifferent. For them, isolation is a carefully chosen space where the mind and heart can breathe. Their story is one of quiet courage. They have lived through moments that left them raw, where trust was broken or expectations crushed. They have given pieces of themselves to people who did not understand, who could not see the depth of what they offered, and when the weight became too much, they withdrew. They built walls to protect the spark inside them. That spark, their perception, their empathy, their insight, is rare, fragile, and luminous. There is a rhythm to their solitude. At first, it may feel like exile, a lonely room with only their thoughts as companions. But slowly, they begin to hear themselves clearly, to understand their own needs, desires, and boundaries. They become their own parent, their own guide, their own witness. The voice inside that once sought validation from others now becomes firm and gentle. They notice things most people overlook, the way a glance lingers too long, the unspoken tension beneath polite words, the tiny gestures that reveal truth. This sensitivity, once exhausting, becomes a gift in solitude. Alone, they can feel fully, think fully, and process fully, without interruption or judgment. The world may never recognize the depth of this life lived quietly, but it is rich, intricate, and profoundly human. They are special because they have learned the art of honoring themselves, even when the world feels careless or overwhelming. Every person they have let in, friendships they have cherished, boundaries they have maintained, has been intentional. Their life is a careful weaving of depth and reflection, a life that teaches them who they truly are. Theirs is a story not of loneliness, but of clarity, strength, and the rare courage to choose themselves first, again and again. And that is mastery of their own inner world, a life lived with quiet brilliance. They disappear in quiet, deliberate folds of life. One day, small irritations no longer feel small, casual expectations weigh heavier than they ought to, and the chatter of the world presses in on all sides. The ones who cut everyone off do not do it to punish or provoke. They do it because they have learned that their attention is sacred, their emotional life fragile, and that ordinary contact can scatter both like dust in a wind. It starts subtly, a missed message here, a delayed response there, a polite absence that goes unnoticed by everyone else. Others think nothing of it. But for the one withdrawing, each small step is a lifeline, a way to reclaim space and quiet that the world has not afforded them before. The act of retreat is precise, almost surgical, and often unnoticed until the distance is complete. There is an artistry in their withdrawal. They watch themselves carefully, how anger rises unbidden, how disappointment curls inside, how old hurts replay like shadow films. In the solitude they choose, thoughts and feelings can be examined without interruption. It is a laboratory for the self. They become their own witness, their own guardian, their own teacher. In the absence of the world, they find themselves with startling clarity. Let's be real. Cutting off carries a lot of tension. There is pain in watching others live without you, in knowing that you will be misread, forgotten, or judged. And there is relief, a gentle exhale, as if the pressure that the world has applied for years finally lifts. There is also pride, the recognition that you are guarding something precious, tending the flame of your own mind and heart. Few can do this. Fewer can do it with such careful balance. Their story is not visible in public declarations or social proof. It is hidden, carried in small daily choices. It is in the fierce, quiet discipline of honoring their inner life. As Carl Jung put it, loneliness does not come from having no people around you, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to you. For those who retreat, this withdrawal is a way to preserve the self in a world that too often misunderstands their depth. Sociologist Judith Shulevitz observes that some people are hypersensitive to the friction of ordinary social life, and for them, withdrawal is not weakness, but refined self-preservation. It is a conscious act, choosing when and with whom energy is spent, and refusing to dilute themselves to accommodate others' expectations. For those who cut off everyone, the world's noise, pressure, or predictability often feels like a corrosive acid against the mind and soul. They step back not out of apathy, but to shield their inner fire, to protect their ability to feel deeply, think freely, and live authentically. They arrive at the decision slowly, almost without noticing the moment it becomes irreversible. It is an accumulation of 1,000 small moments where they felt required to explain themselves and be in dynamics that drained them more than they could justify. Over time, they begin to sense a pattern. Every time they re-enter the social stream, something essential inside them thins out. They leave conversations feeling less solid than when they arrived. That feeling becomes impossible to ignore. There is also a moment of honesty that precedes the decision. No amount of articulation restores the lost energy. No boundary, once negotiated repeatedly, remains intact. They see that access itself is the problem. That insight is sobering. It reframes the entire social world as something optional rather than compulsory. From that moment on, disengagement stops feeling like alignment with bigger purpose. The world may call this extreme, but from inside it feels inevitable, almost overdue. To those who have done this, know this. Your retreat is an affirmation of your inner life. You are honoring your own integrity and creating the conditions in which your mind, heart, and spirit can flourish. You may feel unseen by the world, but your choice is profoundly human and deeply courageous. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Retreating is often the path that makes this possible.